Us now, ladies and gentlemen, Yinzer legend out of the University of Pittsburgh. Obviously, Miami Dolphins hero, Hall of Famer, Mount Rushmore member. One of the quickest releases in the history of football.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paisano Dan Marino.
Yeah.
All right.
God, what a legend.
Pittsburgh legend.
Yes.
Yes, Pittsburgh legend. Dan. Yeah, Dan, we're on the air.
Oh, yeah.
We're on the air, Dan. This is the show. This is the program. Hey. Hold on, we turn him on?
Am I on?
There you are.
There you go.
Yes.
Dan Marino.
Yes.
Dude, I cannot believe you're on our show right now. This is a
it's
big
cool.
deal.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
Okay,
yeah.
so you're with M&M's right now.
Yeah, that's what we have M&M's on our mind right now. Yeah, we have
Peanut
almost
M&M's? What's a favorite?
Peanut butter.
Oh,
Wow.
That's the
Orange
new
bag.
ring. We got the comfort ring for Almost Champions. That's what we're putting out there this week. And,
almost champion.
Almost Champions, yeah. It's me.
I'm like almost champion.
Okay,
Like
okay.
I didn't get quite that close.
Won a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
My team lost in the Super Bowl.
You're in a commercial with
mine
Messi.
lost too. So, but I'm with Bruce Smith and T.O. and then Scarlett Johansson. So Scarlett Johansson was a pretty cool surprise.
We know Scarlett Joe, wife of Colin Jost.
That's right.
Ty Schmidt over there had a conversation with her 15, 20, 25, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Just kind of at a bar a couple weeks ago in New York.
Yeah, wonderful lady.
Yeah,
Most
we had
personal friend of mine.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah, Ty kind of held her
Good time.
hostage.
The commercial was fun.
And what did you're a great actor. Okay,
Yes.
right into this. I
ahead.
have some questions.
Yes, sir.
Dan, we love you.
Yes.
You need to know that. For what you did for like Pittsburghers,
Thank
you're a
you.
legend. Hilarious human.
I love that city.
Did things your own way.
Yeah.
So speaking of acting, the story is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Right.
You were offered an amount of money, let's say $15. We don't have to give us the actual amount of money, but
Right.
let's say it's $15. Or a percentage of what the film makes going forward. That's just how I've always seen it. And you said to yourself, give me the money. What are we talking about? And then it goes on to obviously have the success of it. Is that accurate? And did you know that you were going to be so good at acting in that movie? You almost stole the show in that thing.
Yeah.
Well, I actually made Jim Carrey a star because it wasn't for me. No one knew who the hell he was.
Yep.
So I take full credit for his career. But yeah, we were going to do the movie. At first, I didn't think I was going to do it because I read the script and then I got to meet Jim Carrey, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this could be a lot of fun, and it's either going to do really well or it's going to be nowhere. And so they offered me a percentage of the gross, and knowing me, I didn't take it. I took the short end cash, but that's okay.
Yeah, it is
It worked
absolutely
out.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie made a lot of money.
It did.
yeah.
I couldn't even- you
Made
would've
over
been-
$100 million.
So you found out. Did the
It was a
research.
pretty big deal.
People have told
It's
you.
still
Yeah,
large.
I would have.
Yeah, they're happy
I'd
you
have done
didn't
pretty
take
good.
that.
People have said, like, hey,
I'd have done
Dan,
pretty good.
just a little heads up, this could have been what it is. And, you know, that was about the glorious times of the Miami Dolphins being on top of the
my
world.
God.
A Dolphin is obviously kicking field goals, everything's
Sure.
going. Dolphins are all the way back right now, it feels like. Your Uncle Dan in that building. Does it feel like they're all the way
You know
back?
what? I feel like we're on the road to doing something special down the line. I mean, I felt really good about us, you know, this year, and as far as going into the season, and then as the season went on, and then not making excuses, but we got kind of devastated with injuries, and really took its toll on us at the end of the year. Now, that's not an excuse because everybody got to play. You know, you got to play. Everybody has hurt, you know, positions that are players, and I think we're close.
It was awesome watching Hard Knocks with you in there in the building with your relationship with Tua. Another Pittsburgher there, Tone Diggs.
Yeah, I have to ask because it's a regret of mine going back and looking at it. You ever call the Steelers and say, hey, you guys really messed up that I wasn't a Pittsburgh Steeler?
No, I haven't called them. But,
You should.
But I have.
I have. I've called them many times to tell them that.
I thought about it many times, and you know, during my career, and then, you know, I think at the time though, it was probably the best thing that happened to me because, you know, I played 4 years in high school right there
Central.
in Oakland, Central Catholic, then, you know, played at Pitt right there in Oakland, and to leave, I think made me mature a lot quicker and be ready to play a lot quicker than maybe if I would have stayed in Pittsburgh. But it would have been fun. It would have been a lot of fun.
You graduated with my dad and his brother, Tim McAfee and Owen McAfee. Found the yearbook. You looked awesome senior year of high school. I think we actually have the. The photo.
Oh, do you have it?
Oh,
It's right here. Look at your fro, dude. Look at your fro. Look at
Oh, yeah, look at that baby.
My dad's got a model face right below you.
Yep.
Robert Matthias there. The amount of Italians that were on this page, too, by
Called him Redbird.
Robert there?
Yeah, because his hair was completely red.
You tell.
So you just dominated high school football, I assume, and then at Pitt, same exact thing?
Well, we were pretty good in high school, but now they're over the last 2 decades they've been really good. Like they win state championships and play at a really high level. We made it to the playoffs pretty much all 3 years I was there as the quarterback, and didn't win past the first round. So
That's wild.
but we were good. We were good.
Yeah, I'd say, Dan, you're he's a fro, too. I mean, fro's. Ty, who's a member of the Vegas Golden Knights, has the last question for you here.
Yeah, Dan, a lot of people talk about with the way the NFL is now, if you were to play in this era, you would throw for 7,000, 8,000 yards every single year because you were throwing for 5,000 yards when no one else was even coming close. How accurate do you think that is? And do you ever think about that? Like, oh, man, if I would have got drafted in 2000, let's say, that I would probably at this point have passed for over like 500,000 yards.
So, yeah, you do think about it. The rules have changed and all that, but the one thing I would say is we were kind of a little bit ahead of our time going for the 5,000 yards, having Duper and Clayton and Dwight Stevenson as our center, and we had some really good players. And do I now think we could throw for 6,000 yards? I don't have to prove it. You don't have to.
I'd like to switch with you. You throw in this era, I want to hit in your era.
Okay,
that would be a good trade.
Well, anyway, I think if you don't have to prove it, you can say it. So 6,000 yards.
7,000.
No doubt.
What are we even talking about? 6,500. What do you think? Your accuracy? Everybody talks about your quick release. What do you think it is when you look back at your game?
I think it's something that I learned from a kid. Just kind of getting the ball up and out. My dad always talked about that. And having good footwork. I always jumped rope and then the other thing is just
what were those shoes you had?
Making good decisions. Yeah.
What were those cleats? Did you have those big?
I had it because of my Achilles.
Big.
My right ankle with the Achilles, it needed something inside, so they put like a spring in there to kind of get me on my toe.
Everybody talks about the quick release. It's like, well, you're also putting the ball in a keyhole. Yeah. So quick release. How were you able to maintain like a powerful arm without the big windup everybody else has?
I didn't lift a whole lot. I just lift to maintain, just to maintain my flexibility and all that, and have enough muscle to be able to take hits.
You're a beast, dude. Speaking of taking hits, JJ's got something.
I got a question for you. Speaking of almost champions, you speak about that. It's something that people ask me, how do you feel having retired without having won a championship? And we all want to win a championship, but I try and explain to people, I literally got to live out my childhood dream and do something for 12 years that I dreamt about for my whole life and worked so hard for. Yep. How do you handle that if somebody asks you that question throughout your life?
It's the same. I mean, I in this time of year too, I start thinking about, I had one chance to play in it, and I was very young. I didn't play in it again, and it's something you think about. And all I could tell you is, I pretty much did everything you could do as a quarterback, except win that Super Bowl. And like I said, I was young. I thought I'd be back many a time.
Yes.
For sure. Like, we lost that game against the 49ers. I think I was 23 years old. I'm like, well, we'll be back next year. We'll be back. Then the next thing it's 17 years in the league and you're retiring and you never got back. So
hard.
It's hard. It's hard. And then especially now when you're around the atmosphere and you see the quarterbacks that are playing like Mahomes, and he's doing terrific. He's unbelievable. And I'm kind of pulling for Brock Purdy because he said his dad grew up being a Marino fan, so he watched,
yes.
wearing 13. Wow. So I'm like, all right, that's my guy now. That's definitely my guy.
A great underdog story. I think he'd fit in well if he was from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has a long line of great quarterbacks, tough quarterbacks, resilient quarterbacks. And you talk about it like when you're 23, you get to the Super Bowl, you'll be back. The Patriots set like this ridiculous standard that people think is real for 20 years. Like, I can get back. To your point, I was a punter, obviously. I was riding the coattails of that Colts team when I was 22, my rookie year. We were undefeated until we chose to lose, okay? Right. Literally chose to lose the last two games. Then we go to the Super Bowl, we lose. And then 2 years later, we're completely defeated. Like 0-14, seemingly.
Took its toll.
And then we get injured, and we never get back. We're never even close. What the Chiefs have been able to do now seems like the most similar to what the Patriots were able to do with the mental toughness and how hard the road is and how much luck you have to get. Do you think that continues this week, or what do you think happens with the Niners?
Okay, so in my heart, I'd like to see Brock Purdy win. the Super Bowl, but I do think Kansas City with Mahomes.
Just looking at him, it's like, this dude's not going to lose. What is that? Why do we say that?
But he has it inside his competitiveness. It's inside him. He's grown up like that. He's already done it. That's a big thing, too. When you do something in sports, like people ask me about a 2-minute drill. Well, I did it when I was younger. I did it. So you proved in your own mind you could do it. It makes it that much easier the next time. So he's already won 2. He's been in 3. This is his 4th one, right? I mean, so he's going to be very comfortable in that situation.
We got a massive Dolphins fan in the back.
Okay.
Gumpy. He went 6 to midnight when you showed up here.
Gumpy.
Hey, Gumpy, you got a question for old Dano, pal?
Yeah, Dan, you're the reason I'm a Dolphin
He's 4 down.
fan.
4 down there with the beard.
You're an absolute legend, Dan. I'd love to see the Dolphins get over the hump. What do you think it's going to take to make a run in the playoffs? We've made it back-to-back years playoffs in a long time. Just wondering your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier. I think they got to continue to grow as a team and learn from all the things this past year that happened. Felt really good going in towards the end of the year, and it didn't work out for us. But I think it's really continue to grow, continue to learn. Mike McDaniel's offense he runs, it's a little more difficult than you think because of all the motions and all the different tracking of the offensive linemen. So another year of that, under Tua's belt, under the offense's belt, will go a long way.
Hey, whenever you do these ad reads for companies,
Yeah.
do you ever flub?
Send it.
Send it in, dude. M&M's. The Almost Champions ring, and you can see it in Las Vegas at the M&M store. Go by and see the M&M ring.
No flubs.
One of a kind.
Send it in. Send it in.
You're the man. Real diamonds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Marino.
That was fun, bud.
Thank you.